What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to give you a good summary of what is happening behind the scenes with Lucid, what the data point is all saying, what they recently announced, and what that would mean for Lucid and its investors. And finally, I just want to briefly cap it off with what the PIF is doing to hedge their bets. So I'm going to go over all the stuff you need to know. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So right now it is red, but most likely based on the momentum that is happening, it is going to be very much green in my opinion. And you can tell based on also the secondary market and also the dark pool, a lot of big buying is happening behind the scenes. And the market's been only open for 1 hour, so definitely a lot of good things is coming. And as I've said in the past, it's always really struggled with that 50-day moving average. So right now it is pounding on the door. It wants to break over it and nobody's answering right now. And like I've said in previous videos, it's always generally struggled with that damn 50-day moving average. The only times it's actually breaking out was in July of 2022 and November of 2021 when this big rally did happen. So definitely going to be something very good to watch for, because if it breaks over that, anticipate a very big rally occurring. But keep in mind, behind the scenes of that, stochastic is considered very much overbought. So I think in general, if it does bounce off of this big 50-day support, consolidates, it will be able to try again with a lot more momentum and support. Momentum as well, a number of retail investors are getting out as well. So whether they are profit taking or a lot of different aspects, I'm not necessarily sure. RSI is also at 57. But with all of that fun technicals and what the data points is all saying, getting to now what Lucid is unveiling. So as you can see right here, so Lucid unveils state-of-the-art motorsports electric drive unit. And it goes on to say that technically this has already been in a lot of the race circuit, and it's been the standard front drive unit for the world's most leading single-seater electric racing series. But it looks like they're unveiling it to us for some good PR. But at the end of the day, I think this is fairly good, because all of 2021, Formula E was the only source of revenue for Lucid. So I think in general, the fact that they are really trying to focus on this, and they did say that in the Q2 earnings as well, that will help at least Lucid get a lot of good constant revenue from just Formula E. And in general though, the whole Formula E aspect is not a burden on Lucid by any means. So they can technically provide all of this and still make a good amount of true profit just based on this aspect alone. And this is from the Q2, where they do start talking on Formula E quite a lot, in fact. And so again, with this upcoming Q4 earnings, hopefully they do bring up the Formula E. But it does say right here, Lucid is proud to announce that we will be the sole provider of front drive units for the series. So like I said, they're really trying to focus on Formula E because it's pure profit. And not only that though, in general, it's some pretty good PR behind the scenes. So definitely showcases their performance, technology, and everything that Lucid stands for. So again, that's a very positive thing. As you can see though, when it comes down to the PIF, I don't think there's any argument the fact that they support Lucid 100%. But no different than anyone else, sometimes you do have to hedge your bets. So it looks like this was tweeted. So CEO of Sumo Holdings Company, if I said that correctly, says that we will start producing electric cars in Saudi Arabia within 18 months with a production capacity of 100,000 cars annually in cooperation with the Chinese company Unveil Motors. And keep in mind, I think they're typing Innovate, or Google kind of translates that wrong, but it does look like right here it is this. So innovate, then kind of worded that way. But keep in mind though, Saudi Arabia is hedging its bets against Lucid, and that is between that Unveil Motors and Sumo Holdings. And again, they're going to be producing that 100,000 vehicles within 18 months. So in this article, it's not necessarily bashing Lucid by any means, but it's just saying that the PIF is hedging its bets because this joint venture right here does offer a lot of lower priced vehicles, such as the ME5 between 23 to 25, and it does have some pretty good technology, as you can see based on the range. But then there is also the ME7 between 32 and 44. So in this article, it does also say, like I mentioned, it's not in direct competition, so they're not really going against Lucid, they're just hedging their bets. Because keep in mind, the lower price vehicle for Lucid as of right now is the Pure at around 92,000. And just quickly looking on that company's website, so Innovate, it does have ME5, the ME7 doesn't necessarily say about the technology aspect because most of this isn't in English, but definitely something to watch for. This might be a little bit more competition potentially for the Gravity, who just wants an SUV. So again, that might be something to factor in. Also behind the scenes, there is Sierra as well. So I think right now in the next coming years, there's going to be a lot more competition, both internationally, domestically for Lucid, that they do really have to continue to strive and innovate, no pun intended, against this company. But again, this is something that you need to factor in, and like I said, this article is not bashing Lucid by any means. It's just something that you need to factor in. The only thing in this article it does really bring up is this tweet that was done by the car dealer guy. I did see this, and ultimately they're saying that used car prices for Lucid Airs isn't really holding its value. So as you can see, a 2022 Lucid Air, 169,000, that's what the MSRP, only 2,500 miles, and it looks like it didn't even reach 100,000 for the original bid. So definitely something that you need to factor in, that the fact that Lucid might not have a good resale value could potentially affect the new car sales, as I've mentioned in previous videos as well. But in this, it talks on Tesla, how they're reducing costs and how that's really going to be messing with demand behind the scenes as well. But once again, that might just be all short-term noise. As I always say, I like to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and what potentially might be coming for Lucid. But like I said, PIF is fully supporting Lucid, and that's a very good takeaway, and also unveiling some pretty cool technology for the Formula E. And like I said, when it comes down to the actual technicals, things are looking fairly good. So it most likely will be consolidating a little bit over the next couple days and then be able to try again past this 50-day moving average. So I think a lot of positive things is coming Lucid's way, especially from their Q4 earnings. That is a must listen for any Lucid investor, because they're going to be talking on a huge amount. Like, this is like unlimited. I could talk for hours on what the possible outcomes of their earnings might be, because they're going to be talking about 2023 production. That is definitely one of the biggest catalysts behind the scenes. But they'll also be talking on, like I said, Formula E. They're going to be talking on Gravity. They're also going to be talking on future projects and potentially as well reducing prices. There's a lot of different aspects that's going to be said. So like I said, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe, because I'm going to be live streaming that as well. But with all that said, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.